I got this. And I think this is our number one thing, our biggest belief, and the thing that we want to put out there to all the women, to all of you that are moving abroad or already did. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your ability to deal with everything, with every challenge that you have. Because basically, all the challenge that you have when you're moving abroad are the same challenges that you had before in your own country. True. Just a little bit bigger, okay? Just add it, the language that you don't speak, the culture that is different, the system that is different, but actually it's the same, and you've dealt with it before. You did. Welcome to our Coffee Talkie show.
Yes, today we have an important subject we want to talk to you about because we read so many posts and comments this past couple of days, and we want to share with you something very personal. It's our approach to this, so bear with us.
We see a lot of you and a lot of people that decided to move abroad looking for technical answers and logistic answers. They look online for how to apply for a visa and where can I register for the healthcare system, where can I find a good doctor, where can I register the kids to school, how do I find schools, which neighborhood is good, how do I apply for an apartment, how do I open a bank account. All of those important things, we're not saying they're not important. They are very important. You have to do them. But our approach, and again, this is what's working for us, is that there is a way to approach all those things. And we're not saying like it's magically going to solve itself,
no.
But it will make you deal with them better. And this is our topic for today.
So if you're looking for an apartment right now because you're thinking of moving abroad, or if you're asking yourself, how do I apply for a visa and a job and healthcare and all those things that might be very overwhelming at times, this is the episode for you. We're going to unveil with our way of dealing with those kind of things.
Yes. So maybe let's begin with some examples of things, that's important to take care of, and you might be looking for how to do that online or in books or other coaches, for example.
So let's take the most common thing I think that we see. Again, it's what we see on those Facebook posts and on those blogs, and we read your comments and your ask for help recommendation and everything. And I think the most common one would be visa, work permit, like the paperwork kind of part of life abroad. If you are not a citizen of the country, because you moved from one place to another, then you really it's the number one thing that really makes everyone will I be able to, can I, how long, all those questions. This is what we're seeing.
Yes, absolutely. And let's face it, this is very important. It's okay and natural that it is, bothering you right now and you want to solve this problem because maybe you think that this is the one thing that will solve everything else. Once you have a visa, then you can rent an apartment, work in a place, open a bank account, etc., etc.
But it's before we'll give you, I think you can share a very personal story about paperwork and how does it work. But I think what we want to tell you, and I really want to tell it to you before everything else, is that this is not the thing that solves all the other problems.
Yes.
And the reason why I'm telling you this is that I'm inviting each and every one of you listening to us or watching us live right now to think about your current situation in your current country. You're a citizen of a country or you're living abroad and you have all the paperwork and everything. Is it easier for you to find an apartment? Probably yes. Does it make you not look for an apartment and that everything comes super easily and super naturally because you are a citizen? No. And the same for jobs and same for healthcare. Like if you will talk, and we talk with local people, whether it's in the UK, in the Netherlands, in France, in Israel, in the US, everyone has troubles with bureaucracy no matter where you are. Everyone is looking for apartments, everyone's looking for jobs, everyone's looking for better bank accounts. Like it's the same thing. So it's actually and they are citizens, right? So it cannot be the one thing that will solve everything else. Again, as Maayan said, super important thing. You cannot go to another place if you are not allowed to be there, or if you are like trespassing, or if you are like if you want to work, you need to know that you are able to. Important. But if you focus all your attention there, well, once you have it, you will find out that there's a lot more to deal with.
Yes, absolutely. So paperwork, we said apartment also, for example, in Paris, the, apartment hunting is really, really tough for everyone. All the foreigners, all the local people, Parisian people from outside. And there are some cities around Paris where it's easier to find an apartment. Okay, we hear some expat actually buying houses because it's easier sometimes, and local people the same. So you have to understand the market, know the market, and it's not necessarily,
an expat thing. Sorry, it will bother me.
It's okay.
But do you want to maybe share because we talked about paperwork, and I think we can start sharing our approach to things. Do you want to share your personal family situation? Because it's not yours.
Yeah. Okay. So we have like a French citizenship, so it wasn't a problem for us to come and live in Europe. But my husband, he doesn't have this. And we said to ourselves, well, it won't be a problem because we're married for 10 years now. We have 2 daughters. They have French citizenship as well. So it's not the first thing on our to-do list. We need to take care of his visa, but it wasn't the number one priority. And on top of that, it was COVID, so every embassy was closed. We couldn't talk to anyone. So actually, we came to France with him on a tourist visa. And then the minute we arrived here, we applied for a long stay visa and for a work permit. And during all the process, it took a year, 13 months. We just got it. During all the process, it was our thinking that, we need to solve it because he needs to be legal here. But what's more important for us in this situation is how we deal with it, because it's taking a lot of time, a lot of papers, a lot of certificates, a lot of, back and forth emails, mail, going there physically. It could have been nerve-wracking, okay? If you say to yourself, well, first I need my visa, then I can do everything else. Imagine if we waited to have this visa to do everything else. Okay, we could have waited a year and
probably more.
And I think we probably got given up because it was so long and there was nothing we could do to make it faster. I don't know why it was too long. It doesn't really matter actually.
I think that's part of the approach, and we're going to talk about why it doesn't really matter how long does it take, as long as it's gonna happen, right? At some point it will work, the stars will align, the paperwork will go through, and you will get it, because there's no concrete reason for you not to get it.
Yeah, and I've talked about this subject in previous episodes, but the thing is, while we were waiting for this, we dealt with a lot of other things, some logistics and some not logistic at all, but everything to help us, feel better in this new country that we're in, settle in. What can make us feel like we're settling in? Okay, visa is one, work is two, an apartment, all this. But what else?
Wow.
And voila.
It's not what I said.
What else? What else can help you settle in, feel like you belong, feel you're capable of dealing with everything that you have to do, okay? You have to deal with those. You have to.
Yeah.
And I don't know the person that likes to do that. If it's you, please come join us.
Please help us deal with everything.
I don't know anyone that's enjoying dealing with all those things that you must do. But we believe it's our approach, this is what's working for us, and maybe it will work for you, that if you feel good about yourself, your capabilities, your qualities, your values, your strength, then you look at those things that you must do and you say, okay, I got it. It's not important how much time it will take, how hard it will be. I got it.
I want to give you an example of exactly that, and that's an advice I gave to a friend a couple of months ago. So she's from Hong Kong. She's currently living in France. She came on a student visa that expired, but she wanted to stay. And she was freaked out. She was in France. She couldn't look for a job because her visa expired. She was terrified that a policeman is gonna stop her on the street and take her somewhere else. And she was like, I cannot travel, I cannot do anything. I'm blocked. And she was completely stressed about it. She applied for a long-term visa, but she didn't get any response because the time that those kind of things are taking are long, okay, everywhere in the world. And she came talk to me, and I was like, listen, the only thing you can do right now, know that this country has bigger problems than you staying right now here kind of illegally, okay, let's face it, being out of a visa, you're not supposed to be in a country, but the country has other problems. There's major crisis going on in the world. They are not looking for you specifically, ambushing you in the street in the night. That's not gonna happen. The only thing you can do right now is make sure you are taking care of yourself, so that whenever you have the appointments, whenever they're asking you for papers, whenever you don't break down. Because they will ask, they will send you another demand, and they will invite you for another meeting, and they will ask you, why didn't you apply for it sooner? And they will make you feel that you should have done it earlier or whatever. But it will go as you decide it will go. It's up to you. We talked about it in another episode. It's the way you approach the situation. This is what's going to happen. And I said it to her, and she was like, you know what? Okay, all my paper, all my dossier. She's like, I have this huge case. Everything is ready. There's nothing I can do right now. I applied. It will come. A couple of weeks ago, she sent me a message. She was like, I have a meeting with the lawyer to go and take care. I was like, great. What can you do this morning to make you feel good about yourself so that you actually get to this meeting feeling at ease, breathing, knowing it will be great, and not completely anxious and stressed? And she was like, okay, so I'm going to go for a run, and I'm going to have a coffee with my boyfriend, and then I have the meeting. I was like, great. She sent me a message 10 minutes after the meeting being like, Gal, oh my God, it was so smooth. I came in. He said to me, everything great. All your papers are done. You'll have your permit in a month. And you can do whatever you want until then. Just don't fly back to Hong Kong in this time.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I never thought it would be that simple. It's not easy to deal with. There's a lot of pressure going on, but it's It's only that she had nothing else she could have done. So that's what, like, when we're saying, yes, you need to take care of all those things. You need to look for an apartment. You need to have a health system. You need to have, all those things are super important. But you are the person that will orchestrate how those things are going to end up.
Yep.
And how hard it's going to be for you and how easy it's going to be for you. It's up to you. That's the only thing you can control, because you cannot change the system right now, unless you are applying for not citizenship but politicians and you want to change the system. That's another topic. Talk to us about it.
Yes, but actually we said it before, in previous episodes, and we say it all the time. The energy that you come with when you're dealing with something will be reflected at you, and this is what you're going to get back. So if you're coming really anxious and frustrated and nervous, and you have all those scripts in your head, like, okay, I'm gonna say this and this, and if he yells at me, I'm gonna yell back, and I'm gonna say that, this is what you're going to get. But if you come with a smile, feeling confident, feeling at ease, then it will be this way. It will. And it works for us several times. Even with French bureaucracy, I get so many smiles from police officers and, old ladies that are just typing on a very old computer, post officers, I got smiles because I came, smiling, made a little joke, said good morning or good evening, and that's what I got back, okay? And it works every time, and if you don't believe me, try it. And tell me after that, okay?
I want to share with you another personal story about the healthcare system. And nowadays, it's even more important, like, I think COVID showed to us that we need to have a good healthcare system, no matter where we live.
And actually, I've seen on many Facebook groups that's one of the first thing that they wish they had from their country.
Yeah.
Okay?
After
the first thing they say that is bothering them is that the healthcare is not that good as before. Actually, if I have to interpret it, it's that it's different and it works differently and it bugs people, and I really understand why, because it bugs me as well.
But I want to share with you like three different examples of 3 moves. Okay, so 12 years ago I moved to London. True, as a student, but I had my own apartment. I had to look for apartment. I had to have open a bank account. I had to apply for jobs. I had the whole shebang. And one thing that I was like, I can't be bothered looking for healthcare. I have no idea how this is. I remember looking. Google was not as advanced as it is today. Let's face it. I can't believe I'm saying it. Like, I feel so old. Don't die. But I remember trying to understand how it works, and I was like, it's too complicated. I'll figure it out. And you know what? Our brain is so damn magical sometimes. I was not sick. Not even once. I didn't even had a headache, and despite me partying a lot, I never had a belly problem. I didn't have nothing for 7 months. My first 7 months in the UK, I didn't have any healthcare system, and I was never quite closely sick. On the second year, so it's a full year and not 9 months of student life. On the second year that I came back, I was like, maybe it's time I take care of that. Maybe I should understand how the NHS work in the UK. It's so different than in France. Maybe it's time. But for 1 whole year, I didn't have an healthcare system. And I applied for everything, and I got my NHS card. I applied for it during the summer. I was like, I'm going to take care of it when I have nothing else to take care of, right? When my mind is free, I'll take care of it. I applied for it. I got my NHS card. Guess what? 2 weeks later, I had an emergency operation in the UK because I cut myself and I had to go to the hospital. That's how the brain, our body is working. Just saying. But it took me a year and I found a solution and I had it. Amazing. A couple of years later, I decided to move back to Israel. And again, as Maayan said before, we're citizens in France. We're also citizens in Israel. But I was very much an expat in Israel because it's been 15 years that I wasn't there. I knew the language and I had the official citizenship paperwork. But that's about it. I went to open a bank account and they were like, no, you can't. You need why will you want to be open? I was like, because I want to go and look for an apartment, and to find an apartment, I need a bank account. It's like, yeah, but you just arrived. You cannot open a bank account. I was like, okay. And what about healthcare? Oh, you cannot have healthcare on the first 8 months that you're arriving to Israel. But I remember my experience in London. I was like, I'm not taking the same risk another year of going without healthcare. I need something. So the first lady said to me, listen, it's that simple. You cannot have healthcare in Israel the first 8 months that you're living in Israel. You need to find another solution. And I remember sitting there and being like, well, what solution? You're clearly telling me that there's no option. So what am I supposed to do? And she was like, yeah, I don't know. I remember going outside of this meeting and being like, what am I doing here? This is going to be so hard. How is it even possible that I'm a citizen and I cannot get it? And blah, blah, blah. And guess what? Mindset. Our possibilities. I am so driven to look for solutions instead of problems. This is a given situation. It was said to me black on white. You cannot have the official healthcare system of Israel on the first 8 months that you are living there. Okay, well, let's look for a private one. Let's look for, Google was better then. And, and I looked for a private company that I will pay for a couple of months until the official healthcare system will be in place. Was it costly? Yes. Was it a solution? Definitely yes. Did it save me a lot of sleepless nights? 100%. Because I had a given situation, and instead of crying about it, shouting about it, spending days or nights thinking about it, I remember on the same week, I already had an insurance that would cover me for the next 8 months. It was that simple. I'm taking you another couple of years later. I arrived to France 2 years ago. I didn't have a healthcare system. I am a citizen. But you need to apply for the bureaucracy once again, because it's not continuing if you're not living here for a couple of years. And I haven't lived here for 15 or 16 years. So I needed to apply for everything again. And as Maayan said, it was during COVID that we came back in. And I was like, I now know better. I know it will take time. I know each country has their own way of dealing with things. I know they have their laws and their guidelines and their plain books of how things should be handled. And it's usually the most nonsense way of doing things. But that's how they do it. I'm not going to change the system. What can I do? I immediately looked for a private thing. I didn't even ask for something else. I was like, okay, I will look for a private thing and I will book one for the next 2-3 months because I need healthcare. It's COVID. I need to make sure I'm not taking any risks here. And in the same time, I will understand how the process is going. Very, very smoothly and calmly and without freaking out about it. Knowing 100% that I will get the healthcare I deserve in this country whenever I will fit the box of how things are handled here. And it took me a couple of months and I got my official healthcare system of France. So just to make a super long story short, it's just to tell you that every single country has their own thing and you will never be able to know everything and how things are working. But if you decide that this is not going to not stop you from moving and not make you worry, stress, anxious, not sleeping for the next couple of months because you don't have something, well, you will deal with everything, and you will find creative solutions to sort your given situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're hearing us right now and you want to move abroad, or you decided to move abroad, or you're going to do that,
or you're even currently living abroad and you have new challenges rising up,
and currently this is stressing you out, you're not sleeping at night, waking up thinking, oh, I need to deal with this and this and that, and I don't know how to do that or how to approach it. Our advice to you is to first take care of your approach, of your confidence, okay? And once you deal with that and you're confident enough and you believe in yourself and your abilities to deal with everything that you can, okay? Once you do that, then those things won't keep you up at night, because you'll know in your heart that you can make it work, that you will find a solution. Problems and challenges are always there, okay?
Yeah.
But so does solutions. You just need to know that you can find them, okay? And that's confidence, basically. You have the ability to look for the solution and to find it, okay? And solutions may not always be what you think it is, okay? For example, if you have a situation where you need to apply for a healthcare system, you think that the solution is to have all the paperwork, talk to the officers, fill in some forms. You think this is the solution, and you focus on all your energy on that. But actually, maybe the solution is to find someone to pay him, 300 euros, and he will do it for you. I gotta tell you, there are people that are doing this, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, it costs more, but does it save you time? Yes. Does it save you some anxiety? Yes. Does it help you sleep at night? Yes. If so, this is a solution that can help you sleep better at night. Do that, or find another solution that is suitable for you, for your needs, but find something that will make you feel at ease and confident with yourself, and say to yourself, okay, I can go to sleep and I got this.
I got this.
I got this. And I think this is our number one thing, our biggest belief, and the thing that we want to put out there to all the women, to all of you that are moving abroad or already did. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your ability to deal with everything, with every challenge that you have. Because basically, all the challenges that you have when you're moving abroad are the same challenges that you had before in your own country.
True.
Just a little bit bigger, okay? Just add it, the language that you don't speak, the culture that is different, the system that is different, but actually it's the same, and you've dealt with it before. You did. We know you did.
And
we all did.
We all did. And that's exactly what we're inviting you to do. That's our approach, okay? Whenever you feel like, okay, I can't do it. Like, this is way too much. Like, this is, I just can't. Take a deep breath and try and ask yourself, when was the last time you dealt with a very similar situation? Okay? Back home, in this country, somewhere else, in your childhood, whatever. When was the last time you dealt with something very similar? When was the last time you dealt with weird ways of doing bureaucracy, finding apartments, finding a job, locking down a healthcare system, doing whatever you need to do? Because you probably, if you are not like a kid that never dealt with anything until now, like if you're a 1 year old.
Or a princess.
Or
if you're a princess. If you're a princess, please let us know.
We'd
really
love
want
to talk to you, yeah. But I guess that I watched The Crown. They're dealing with a lot of things as well. So but our thing is that you probably dealt with it before, with some kind of it, a similar situation. Sit down and be super honest with yourself. what did you use from your own personal assets, from your own qualities, from your own, we call it strength, okay? This is like your capabilities, your power. You have it within you. What did you use to deal with the situation before, to deal with a similar situation before? And if you are super honest with yourself, you'll find out that you found solutions in you to make it work. Did you ask for help? Did you not say, okay, I cannot do it, but who can? I'll ask someone. Great. So you find the resources to go and solve this situation. Maybe you've done things yourself. Maybe you just took a step back and see that unsurprisingly things solve themselves if you sometimes don't do anything. And because sometimes it happened this way. Like, there's a lot of things, but what have you done previously? Go and tap into this same person that you know you are. And because not right now, it might freak you out. And right now it's overwhelming and it's keeping you up at night. But remind yourself of the strong, brave, amazing woman that you are, and then you will be able to look at this situation, this problem, this task that you need to take care of in a different eye and being like, bring it on. I'm doing it. I know how to do it. I've done it before.
And I gotta share with you a personal story that I've been here in France for a year now. And just a couple of days ago, I asked myself, why didn't I make this year new connections, like real connections? Yeah, I talked to some other moms, but why haven't I made real friendships? Like, how come I couldn't, sit to drink a cup of coffee or a glass of wine with another friend, someone I can call a friend, not like a connection, a real friend? And then I sat with myself. It was nice. Went back in time, and to like the last time I moved, a city, okay? Like, it wasn't like a move abroad. I moved to a new city. I changed my situation. I was a young mom, a new mom. Actually, I didn't know anyone around me. Like, it was all new to me. I had no real friends, local friends. All my friends were like childhood friends, or I don't really have friends. But I honestly, I was honest with myself, and I said to myself, well, it took me years, like 5 years, to know people around me, in my surroundings. The moms at the park, the moms that are friends with my kids. And it took me a really long time. And if I have to be honest with myself, I know that making real connections and real friendship takes time. And actually, yesterday was the birthday of 2 friends that I have back at home, and I sat down with myself and I was analyzing our friendship, and I understood that it takes me time to create real relationships, to create, relationship with people to arrive to a point where I really care about a person. It takes me time. And why did I expect that it will arrive in a year? It's not realistic with myself, my own being, with my values, with my belief, with my strength. It's not realistic to expect that after 1 year only, where I had to deal with so many things, arriving to a new country, dealing with kids going to school for the first time in France, building a business, it wasn't realistic. So actually what I said to myself is, okay, it takes time. I know patience is one of my strengths. Then I'll be patient, and I know I will make it happen, but it will take longer. Okay? Same with the business. We both had business before. We know it takes time. We know what we can use to make it work. So in days where we feel like, what do I have to do to make this work? We go back and we say, okay, this is what I have to do to make it work. I know what I have to do. I believe I can do this. And this is what we want to say to you. You know, every night when you go to sleep, before you close your eyes, you know, say to yourself, and really mean it, and bring yourself to this situation where you can say honestly to yourself, I believe I can do this. I believe I can do this. You know, and this is all we do here in Smoothie, okay? This is what we want for you to be able to, before you move or even after you move, when you go to sleep, just believe that you can deal with everything. The visa, the apartment, the bank, the French bureaucracy, the Netherlands, the Finnish language, the relationships, you know, your relationship in your family. How do you speak to your parents back at home? How do you, create new relationships? How do you create, a new relationship with local people? How do you travel? How do you earn money? How do you open a business? Everything. First, you need to believe in yourself. To believe you can actually do that.
And for that, I really want to tell you, like, there is an important key thing here. Who you're surrounded with will make or break this. Because I can tell you personally, I'm a very confident woman, okay? I'm a very strong woman, but people can make me doubt myself. People, society, family, can make me doubt myself. The more I care about those people, the more impact they have on me. So when we're saying, when you go to bed, tell yourself, I know I can do this, amazing. But make also sure you're surrounded with enough, I don't say everyone, with enough people that fit in this amazing woman that you are and keep on inspiring you and motivating you and bringing up your confidence and not bring it down. Because there will be people around you, there will be things around you that will make you doubt yourself. And it's completely normal and it's completely human. But you need to have both, more of one, to be fair, more of those who will support you and tell you, go, follow your dreams, do whatever you believe you want to do in your life. Chase it. You will make it happen. I know you will. You need to have those people around you. And that's why we created our own community. And we want women to be surrounded with other women that are elevating each other, supporting each other, and giving hugs. You know how many times I'm looking at posts on Facebook and I'm like, I don't like this reaction of care. I wish I could literally send her a message. Where are you right now? I'm coming for a hug. That's the only thing you need. Because sometimes I know that's what I need. I'm a single lady. Sometimes all I need is a physical hug and I will be able to keep on doing whatever I need to do. Because, physical hug has, been scientifically proven for, so many research has proven that 20 seconds of hug can literally change your whole day for the better, right? So sometimes that's all I need, because those Facebook groups where everyone is like, I'm super stressed, and then you get 100 comments of why you need to be even more stressed.
Yeah, I seen yesterday someone posted, I want to move to, I don't remember which country, and I'm really, really stressed about my visa. And all the comments were, visa, you need to take care of the apartment, you need to open a bank account. If you don't have French citizenship, you can't move there. If you're European, then you can't do it. And I'm like, oh my God, the girl is already stressed. Why are you stressing her even more? All she needs to know is she can do that.
Yeah. And I know some of you listening to us might tell yourself right now, oh, those two girls are super naive. It can't be that easy. It's not about that. It's not, I need to have it all sorted out. I cannot have, but no, honestly, listen to us enough. We're doing this for a while. We started moving when I was 2 years old. You were 6 years old.
And let's be honest, we weren't these confident ladies in front of you that we are today. We weren't there. But when we weren't in this state of mind, we were always stressed, very anxious. I don't remember like a night where I slept, for 6 or 8 hours. It wasn't the case. But when we understood that it's in our, power to make a change, to change it. Okay, we went both to life coach. We made a lot of changes in our life. But now we believe that every challenge that we have, we can make it work. And it's not that we are never doubting ourselves and never feeling that. It's not true. We do. We do doubt ourselves sometimes. We do have low days. We do sometimes, feel shit. Okay? But we have the capabilities to bring ourselves back up and to end the day knowing we can make it work, believing that we can make it work. And that's the most important thing that we learned, over the past 6 or 7 years, where we are working on ourselves, because it wasn't this way always.
No.
I remember weeks where I couldn't get out of bed because I was feeling so low, so incapable of nothing. Okay, I felt like I couldn't do anything. Like the simplest task was huge to me, mountains. Okay, but now, and it's practice and simple tool. It's not that hard. It's not. If we did it, you can do it too. Yes, it will take time. Yes, it does take practice, everyday practice, daily, all the time, because once you stop, the negativity begins to show up again. So daily practice, simple exercise, make them a habit, and sleep better at night.
Yeah. As we were talking, it's true. We weren't aware that these are the things we were doing, but very naturally, because we got used to change and got used to deal with a lot of differences and different cultures and different ways of doing things from a very, very young age, we built on this resiliency and this approach to things, like looking for a solution and tapping into what we know best. And I don't know if you remember the time when, again, I was living in London, I came to visit you in Israel, and I didn't want to go back. Yeah. I had such a horrible time at that period of time in London, that I literally didn't want to go back. And I think you physically pushed me inside the airport because I didn't want to go. And the one thing you said to me, and I was like, I don't want to go back to my apartment, and I don't want to go back to work, and I don't want to go back to my boyfriend at the time, and I don't want to go back to those crappy friends, and I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. And I was crying my eyes out. And the only thing you said to me is like, you got this. You will find the way to make it work. You will take yourself out of this miserable situation, and you will find a solution. And I remember telling you, but I don't have a solution, and I don't have an apartment. You got this. And without knowing, okay, this was 15 years ago. It's not like, it wasn't consciously trying to tell me like, this is what should be done, I've researched it. No, it was very natural to us because we dealt with other things before when we were younger. And so what we're talking to here, it's a lifetime of experiences that we had to go over and over and over every single time. So if I go back to like what we started talking about today, if you're currently looking for ways on understanding what you need to take care of in order to move abroad, or if you're currently moving abroad and you're wondering, how can you find an apartment? How can you apply for jobs? What visa do you need? What type of paperwork you need to take care of? Healthcare system, schools for the kids, whatever it is. You got this.
You got this. You'll find the solutions. You will. But you need to first believe in yourself.
Yeah. You need to
honestly believe that
you can do this.
You can do this. and this is what we are here for. So if you need help with that, please reach out. We'll help you reach there, okay? Because it's not that hard.
And because
okay?
we really care. We really care. We really wish we could literally send ourselves to every single woman out there that is saying, oh my God, what am I doing? And just give her a hug and just tell her, we believe in her until we will believe in you until you believe in yourself.
Yes.
And make you do those exercises and those practical things and train those muscles of resiliency and confidence and empowering beliefs so you can really deal with everything you have to deal with.
Yes, absolutely. So I hope this made sense to you and it was valuable to you. Like always, maybe you've taken some notes, maybe you have some questions. Feel free to reach out. You can write in the comments or send us a message on Instagram or via email, whatever suits you. We're here for you, and just let us know.
Yeah, we're here. And in the meantime, we hope you enjoyed this coffee time with us. We definitely had a great time talking to you again and again and again. This is what we love doing, and we really hope it made a difference for you today. So we're wishing you an amazing day, and thanks for listening.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.